My name is Ekeade Adetunji. I'm the founder of Ceasar Graphix and Ceasar Graphix Academy, and I welcome you all to our weekly design review today. I have just 3 designs from the group members. So I'm going to share my screen now with you guys. So this is my first design, and I have serious issue with this. All right. Now, the first issue I have with this is the look of the project. Okay. The look of the project. And what I'm going to advise this designer to do is whenever you're asked to work on design project, don't be among the people that always have this feeling that, okay, let me just put something on the artboard or on the frame so as to make it look like, yes, I did something. No, graphic design is about telling story. All right. And how your designs, what now make that design successful is when you now tell the story the right way, when you make it simple and clear for people to understand. Okay. So if you really want to do this well, you need to understand the project. You need to understand the purpose you're trying to achieve on the project. So I noticed that the goal here is to do something like a wireless. All right. I can see Wi-Fi icon here and also a mouse. To me, if that's the goal, I don't expect you to have this. I don't expect you to put this here. I've been trying to understand why we have this these 3 here. Excuse me. All right, so I've been wondering why we have this. Okay. I wish you're online now so you can explain why this 3 is there. But even if you're online, the message here is not saying something connected to this. I can see Happy Independence Day. So I expect to see something that shows freedom. All right, something that shows more of freedom here on the projects. Okay. And there are several ways you can there are several ways you can play with this icon here and just apply it with the freedom look. But you using this 3 here is not really connecting at all. And then the other thing I noticed that you did not do well here is the use of fonts that are not really okay for design. It's not every font you have on your PC that you're supposed to be using for your design projects. All right. Fonts like this, types like these are not really good for design. The look of the type is somehow, it looks ugly. So my advice is for you to avoid, script type like this. All right. It's not really helping. And then if you want to do render text, all right, with the way you did it here. Now, for those of you that don't know what they call render text simply means clipping images in a text. All right. So if you're trying to do that, the way you did it here is not really okay, and which is part of what make the whole project look funny. Contrast, like what I always say to you guys, contrast is what makes design look interesting. When you understand the use of contrast well, it helps your design look mature and attractive. And the work of contrast is to draw attention to your design project. When you overuse it, when you have too much contrast on your design project, it's going to make it look boring. It's going to affect the success of the design. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is this. This tree here is a contrast. The effect you did to this 62 here is also a contrast. This is a contrast. This also is another contrast. So you see, we have too many contrasts on the project, and that is why the design is not successful. So if you want to call attention to your project where using contrast is concerned, one element is enough to do that. All right, one element is enough to do that. So try and then work on this on your next project. And then the way you play with shadow here is not okay. This shadow is facing this way and this one is facing this way. No. All right. If you even want to apply shadows to your elements, make the shadows go the same direction. All right. If your shadow is facing this angle, you also make every other element, the shadow on all the other elements will face the same direction. All right, those are simple things that when you don't pay attention to them or you don't use them correctly on your design project, it won't make the design successful. All right, so let's go straight to our next design. Okay, so the title, this is a movie poster. This project here, I like the fact that we have this contrast of this guy or this illustration here. But the issue I have with this is the use of too many elements and the color. All right, because when you're doing a movie poster, color is one of the tools that we use as creatives to tell the right story. So red is a color of danger. All right, it's mostly used when you're trying to show danger or you're trying to show blood. Okay, but when you are talking about suffering, I expect to see more of dull color and not this red. All right, and I want every one of you to catch this. Red is a good color, but it's good when the message on the design is talking about maybe something dangerous, maybe like you're trying to show you're trying to say the movie is an horror movie. Even the way you use it here is too much. It shouldn't be this loud. And red is one powerful color that carry heavy contrast. So when you overuse it or you use it too much on your project, it will make the project, to make the design or the movie poster look scary. So if I want to change the color on this project, this is what I'll do. So I'm going to use hue saturation here now, and I'm going to move down to, let's say, blue, like so. All right, I can just pick this type of shade of blue. Oh no, this is too much because it's affecting the eye. All right, I can use this and then move this down a bit. All right, if I can even make it gray, can make it gray or not too gray, just make the blue look faded, because most time when you dull the color of your movie poster, you are trying to depict that, you're trying to show what I call like something bad happened. Gray most time is when we mostly use gray color, or we mostly use low saturated color when we are trying to depict something that shows suffering, something that shows not happy, something that shows sadness in graphic design. So when you make the color too loud, it's not going to look like that message again. So if the title on the design on this design is saying suffering, I expect you to use a dull color, something not too heavy. And for the eye of this dude here, you at least make this the color of his eyeball, make it the same, make it white. All right, make it different from the color on the project, because it, that's another way you can make contrasts occur on your project. That's another way to invite contrast on your project. So you can just make this white, not too much white, okay, but at least make it have something more, bright, that will help the look of the project. So I'm gonna hold on and apply this. Okay, I'm just gonna move this here. Move this here. You feel me? I believe this is still better. All right, and this is eyeball here. It looks scary. We're talking about the guy suffering, but it looks like a vampire. So let's change the color. Oops, press the wrong button. Let's just make this. Let's cover this side here. All right. Okay, so I think I over applied that. So I'm going to reduce the opacity a bit. Let's see. This is still better. And then you can now make this suffering text now have its own color. I'm trying to be fast with this. This. Okay. Then this should be on one line. And most time when you're making your text small, like the way you have it here, please, this is for every one of you. Avoid using bold type. All right. When you're making your text small, don't use bold type. All right. Because when you use bold type, by the time you zoom out from the project, you notice that the visibility of that text is going to get lost. All right. So don't always use bold type for small text. So I'm going to use Ctrl J here and put this here. Aha. It's okay now. So this can now be here. All right. That's for that. And if I make everything visible now, it's okay this way. Just feel I should make this here. Another thing you can do if you really want to make this look more interesting, you can even also pick this color here and just apply it to this side of the hair and just blend the effects. Okay. So as to create that, unity. All right. You can also apply it here, right here. Leave with this width, you will still look better than what you did. That red is too strong. Let's apply here, apply here, apply here. Apply here with this. Take it out from here. I'm sorry, I changed the color of all these logos here, but I believe you guys get my point here, okay? All right. And the last thing there's one other thing I noticed again. So you see all these silhouette you put here, they are not necessary. When you're designing a movie poster, all right, there's something called suspense. All right, there's something called suspense that you're supposed to always apply to your movie poster. And that's the most reason why you notice people rush to cinema to watch the movie. Suspense is what make movie poster look interesting. So, but when you now load it too much with too many characters, so many elements, it is going to make it look boring. So I'm going to advise you to take all this silhouette you have here. All right. In fact, I'm going to take this out. This is not necessary. I know this is a fictional project. All right. But it's good to teach you guys how to achieve the good achieve something good here. So the reason why I decided to leave this dude here is because this here look more like somebody who is suffering. All right, this here look more like somebody who's suffering. So this alone will help the look of the movie poster. All right. So let's see the before and after. So if I hit Control E now and I hit F12, I guess. Yeah, this is the before and this is the after. So let's go straight to our last design. So this is our last design. Now, the problem I have with this is the use of scale. All right, scale. Now, scale, or like we call it in graphic design, hierarchy, is what is how we help people to access the information on our design. But when we don't play with it well, it won't make the design look okay. Now, the reason why I'm saying it is this. If you look at the text used on this design, you notice that 80% of the text here share the same weight. And with that, it's not helping at all. All right, it's not helping at all. And then this, the minister here, his picture is too big. It's taking 70% of the design, and I don't think that's okay. All right, that's not okay at all. Whenever you're asked to work on design projects, what people want to see is what is different on the design. In fact, what draw people's attention to your design is this different thing on that design. So whenever you're drawing out your layout or you're trying to draw your concept, first draw what you want people to see first, what you want to use to draw people's attention. Then you now start putting the other information on the design. But if you don't do that correctly, this is what you're going to get. And that's why you notice that most time when you're working on a design project, you notice you just keep moving things around. And at the end of the day, you just go like, I'm still not feeling what is here. All right. And that's why this design is not looking okay at all. All right. And what I'm going to say lastly on this is going to be similar to what I said on the movie poster. Suspense is what makes good design successful. All right. This title is talking about Covenant Day of Fruitfulness. I expect to see more something simple with good illustration. All right. Something simple with good illustration, not picture of a married man and a woman with a child. No. And then we now have the picture of the minister. No. Okay. The reason why we are called to work on design projects is so as to make people attend the event. And part of how we do this is by creating suspense and surprising our audience. In fact, the surprising is what made the suspense part possible. So surprise is what you should always focus on whenever you're working on design projects. Then lastly, on this design is the color. I noticed the color you use here, they all share the same, almost the same value. All right. So please, there should be something that will be different from all the colors on your design. Something has to be different in terms of the use of color. Don't make use of this, even if you're using monochromatic color harmony. One of the color have to have something. It has to have higher value. All right. At least the saturation and the value is supposed to be higher than every other color, so as to draw attention and give that project the spice look. Okay. So I'm going to stop here on this, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's design review. If you have not subscribed, remember to hit the subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this review, please hit the like button and share it with your graphic design friends and family. And I'll see you again in the next one. Peace.